Hi all, this is G3NYK with a brief description on how to use Nano VNA Saver and also using your Nano VNA. As you can see, we've got the shortcuts. I'm going to talk you through it from the start. So if we open the Nano VNA Saver executable, give it a little while for it to open, and it's opened on the wrong screen, so I will transfer it onto this screen so we can now record it. Right, the first thing you have to do is connect to the device. So you can choose your serial port control. Bearing in mind it's a USB device, but it is seen as a serial port, as a COM port. Now for my machine here it is COM5. If it doesn't appear first of all after you've plugged it in, just press rescan, and then when you see your COM port appear with that, bearing in mind I do have a few more COM ports on this machine, it's only showing up COM port 5 in this software, and then you press connect to device. So it comes up with connect to device, and it kind of remembers where you were last time with it. Now I'm going to talk you through how to calibrate the system. What I'll do is if I just turn on my device here, and what we'll do first of all, we'll go to calibration. Okay, and if I move that out here for you guys to see and make it a little bit larger, hopefully that will help. Okay, we have a few different calibration devices here. We have this with a pin in it. Sorry, I can't get it perfectly clear for you. That's got a pin, and that looks like it's a dead short on that one. It is. We have this one, which as you can see, no pin, and that is currently a open connector, and I'll talk you through that in a minute. This here looks like that. It's a dummy load. Now with some good practice is that you can just use the connector or the cable that comes with it. Reason for this, these SMA ports can be quite fragile, and when you're playing around with them and doing things, they will break eventually, and it's much easier just to replace something like this, a back-to-back connector, than what it is to replace that main connector. So what you do first, if you follow it in order, it's quite easy. So first of all, you've got to press the short for the calibration, as in to calibrate the short. Now what this actually says here, use of manual calibration thingy, and it just asks you if you're sure that you want to do it. So if you just press yes, now you've got to have it connected first. So if I put the dead short in there, I will go through and short this again. Okay, apparently that's done. Okay, it does go with a blink of an eye. That's it. Now what we've got to go to is for the open device. So if we do that, we just press open, and it is literally that quick. Exactly. Now as you can see on my Nano VNA server, it doesn't show up anything on there, which is absolutely fine. I will do another video to show you how to use VNA server. And with the dummy load, you now do the load, which is set through. Now, one thing you can do, some people say it is correct procedure to do it, but if you just go through and do what is called a through calibration. What I do is do a through calibration, as calibrated. Now, what we actually want to do on this particular model is save the calibration, and I have not applied it. We need to set the sweep control. That is these settings up here. Okay, so what we're going to do, you just put them in the megahertz, and for the aerial I have currently got connected, we're going to do from 3 megahertz. Oh, sorry, I meant to just do 3. And you can just tab across, and we want to do a stop. You know, where to stop the band from scanning, really. So what we're going to do, we're going to choose something like 8 megs, I believe. We'll do 8 megahertz. Okay, the one thing that you must remember to do is put that in. Okay, the center of my frequency chart is going to be 5.5 megahertz. Now, I'm going to leave it at that for just showing you what it does. Now, with this, you can just connect up the Nano VNA and just test your aerial. But the one thing that you have to do is calibrate the unit. So what we're going to do, we're going to go down to calibration. That is after you put these sweep settings in. Now you can go to sweep settings, and what you can do, you can choose single sweep, continuous sweep, or average sweep. I'm not going to go into all of this on this particular video, so what I shall do is just close it down and we'll go for calibration. Okay, now that we have our device calibrated, I don't know what it was saying. It was complaining that there was a short or something when there wasn't supposed to be on this unit. So what I'll just do is pull up that picture again for you. That's all my bits laying there. What I'm going to do is stop showing the Nano VNA itself. What we're going to do is connect up to the system. What I've got is a loaded dipole, which I haven't tuned yet out there. So what we'll do, actually I'll tell you what, I'll bring the picture back a second so that you can see how I connect up to it. Yes, I have a flexible bit of RG213, I do believe it is, going through an SMA adapter into an SO239 from the VNA, or the Nano VNA, up to the aerial. So what we need to do is concentrate on it now. What I've done is I've programmed that in, and I've got it set for singular sweep. So if I do a singular sweep, as you can see, we get some very odd results here. The VSWR I've got here is actually quite high at the moment. It's 2.14. Now, as I said, I haven't tuned this aerial at all yet. You got the Smith chart. For those that want to look at Smith charts, you can do, and you can also calibrate this software to display anything you want. You've got return loss, which heads down that way, and you've got the crossover point there. For some people understand that the R divided by JX, you know, the polar plot. I'm not 100% sure what that is yet, but I'm sure we will find out in time. So what I'm going to do, I've done the 80 meter band. So what we can do, we can go into sweep settings, and to make it easier, and I can go to set band sweep. So if I go to 80 meters, let's go to 40 meters and do a set band sweep, and then close that. That configures all of that for you. Now the marker hasn't come across yet, but if I do sweep, let's see what happens here. Whoa. Okay. My VSWR is gone bananas, completely off the scale. And so has the Smith chart. So what we'll try, this is supposed to be a multi-band aerial. So if I go to sweep settings again, let's go to 40 meters, let's go to 20 meters, because this aerial is supposed to do it. So swept band sweep in, close that, is change the settings, and let's sweep once more. That's better. That's what I would expect to see, is 1.29 to 1 across the band down there. Now that means I have to go up and adjust my antenna, That's because I measured it to what it recommended. I had to measure it in feet because I don't understand feet in inches. I only understand the metric stuff, but I have got to go up and measure it again and tune it. This is pre-matching, obviously. Right, so, and that's all it is. You can actually go in and say we'll go for a continuous sweep. Now I've got to find out where that is, continuous sweep. We could do a continuous sweep. So set band sweep, come out of that again, and do sweep. And this is supposed to be doing a complete sweep, a continuous sweep. Now, I can't really show you too much, but if I was to, let's just say, unscrew this a bit, can you see it changing slightly? Oh, and it's gone sky high. It's gone up to 4.43, or approximately. Now, I'm not sure what this is. Now, if I stuck my fingers across that, you can see it's doing this. So if I get my screen back here, you can see all I've just done. Disconnect that, put my fingers across there, it dropped the VSWR down on it. I undo it, I let my finger go, and it goes back up again. So let's screw this back in, not plug it back in. Okay, you see there. So my aerial is pretty much tuned for about 14 megs dead. I've got to look into that, haven't I? So that's pretty good. Right, that is the demonstration of Nano VNA Saver. It can be a bit flaky, but however, welcome. This is G3MYK, alongside with a brief tutorial on how to use your Nano VNA. Right, excuse the glistening up there of the lighting. I've had to turn the lights on up above me so that we can see. Your Nano VNA. I've just got mine set in a nice box that is printed, available from an online printing thing like Tinkercad or anything like that. Other ones are available. I just didn't want to design my own for a moment too. Right, first start by switching on first of all. Up it comes. It's very quick to switch on. So what we got to do, explained, is calibrate first of all. Now this is a bit trickier for me. Okay, because we've got display, marker, stimulus, which is just scanning frequency, cal for calibration, recall, and configuration. We're going to go for calibration first of all. I'm just going to, actually, no, we're going to go for stimulus first of all. You have to set the stimulus, which is your scanning range, for what you would like. So what we do, we go to start, and we're going to choose 3 megahertz, which is a nice simple 3M. And down in the bottom corner there, you can see it says start 3.000000 megahertz. We then touch the screen again, go to stop, and we're going to do, say, 8 megahertz. So I do the same as what I did in the other program, in the Nano VNA Saver program, but we'll do it like this. Touch it again. Center, I'll tell you what, we'll do a center 3, 5, 8. We'll go to say 5.5 megahertz on this one. So we've got a center, so we've got 5. I believe that is for the display. Now I haven't done much with the display yet, as in configuring. It is just set as it was when it came out of the box. Now what we've got to do, now that we've set that, you can go in and save it if you wish. Okay, that is down to you whether you want to save thing. However, we're going to cal for calibrate. We've got these ones here. Now I've already calibrated it, but I will talk you through what to do. So we go to calibrate. We've got a couple here, right? So remember the pins. We have the, now this one's in different order. We have the open pin. We have the short pin, which has got the pin inside of it, causing the dead short, and we've also got the dummy load. Now excuse this, I'm not used to doing this sort of thing. So what we got to do first on this one is do the open. I go to open, and then we just click open. As you can see, it's just jumped straight down to the short command. Okay, it is a bit hard to see on here, so apologies for that. And now we've got to do the short pin. As you can see, there's actually something coming up already on the display. So we go to short, go to short. And what I'm going to do now is do the load. So we do load. I'm not going to do the isolation, because I'm not 100% sure what it is, but we can do the through mode on this. So if we do that, and do that, okay, and then all we've got to do is tap through. Now, once that's all done, undo it, you have to remember you've got to press the done command, just to make sure that it goes in there. You can also save it. Now, I'm going to save this one on my system as 3. Okay, so saved it. As you can see, it's already registering a signal of some sort. However, what I'm going to do is plug it into channel 0. I haven't figured out what channel 1 is for yet. But here we go. So, if I connect that up to there, I'll drop that down to there. As you can see, remember that we had on the programmer, on the Nano VNA program, that we had it earlier where it was going a bit nuts. Now what you can do, you can put your point there, I believe, marker. If I select marker 2, and I don't know how to do this. You just drag it down nicely. Drag it down, say there, and it gives you an SWR up here, and it's showing. I'll see if I can zoom it in a little bit more on this device, which I don't think I can. Let's give it a go. Oh, can get blinded by the lights now. There. Okay. I forgot to tighten this thing up, didn't I? That's it. What I'm going to do, I think I can zoom it in somehow. Okay, so let's do it to that, shall we? Let's move that up to there so it's a bit more central for you guys. So as you can see, center frequency, which I believe, please don't hold me to it, there. But if you say drag marker number 1, move it up the scale, I just do back. Sometimes, as I say, I'm not particularly great at this. So you can see, you can put up there, you get 1.51, and if I drag it across there, it's right up at the top of the scale, and as you can see, it comes down there, slightly lower, and it's back at 1.5 to 1, about there. So what we're going to do, I'm going to cheat a little bit here. We know that this aerial that I've got is pretty much spot on for 14 megahertz, or 20 meters. So what we'll do, go to the stimulus. We're going to change the start, and we are going to go to, let's go to 13 megahertz, and then we're going to do the stop, and then we're going to go to say 15 megahertz, and then what we're going to do, it's already looking interesting, and we'll do a center, and we'll do 14 megahertz. So as you can see there, we've got a very interesting scale. Now, as you notice, if I put my hand near it, it changes. If I go close again and touch it, whoa, I drop it right way down. So you do have to be a tad careful with it. Right, so apparently the SWR, I don't know why it says 100 in there, is on 1.19. Okay, that's on 13 megahertz up at the top there. Now if I drag this up to say the center display, we have 14 megahertz dead up there. and that is showing us 1.39, well, 1.4 to 1, which is pretty good. If I was to touch this, what did you go down? Okay, that's a phenomenon that the wonderful technical gurus that know about antennas can explain. And that is really just how easy it is to use the Nano VNA in just for basic measurements of your VSWR. Hope that explains it, and I hope that hasn't been too complicated. That's all for now.